So the National Assembly will this morning consider a request for the third extension of the Ad Hoc Committee, which is probing allegations of infiltration, corruption and political interference in the criminal justice system. The committee has the current deadline of the 20th of February to contend with. Watching the story for us is SABC News reporter Mkhokheli Bandla, live to us now from Parliament. And it's going to be a virtual sitting today, Mkhokheli, but nonetheless a very important one.
Good morning, Ayanda, and to our viewers at home. Indeed, you have nailed it on the head. The National Assembly from 10 o'clock in the next hour today will be discussing the motion or a request by the Ad Hoc Committee on the extension of its work up until the 31st of March this year, 2026, where they are seeking to extend their mandate, citing reasons that they still have a long list of witnesses that are supposed to appear before this committee. You will remember that the last witness that appeared before this committee last week was the private investigator Paul O'Sullivan, who appeared on Tuesday and Wednesday. But even though he appeared for these 2 days, he did not get to conclude his testimony before the Ad Hoc Committee. So he is expected to come back again so that he can conclude his testimony. One other witness that still has to come back before this committee is former National Acting Police Commissioner Mkhokheli, who appeared before this committee. Initially, he was supposed to appear for 1 day, but because of how lengthy his testimony was, he couldn't conclude his testimony before the committee. So he is also part of the witnesses that are expected to be back before this committee. Also, we also know that there's still a process of consultation with the Office of President Cyril Ramaphosa, who is one of the witnesses that might come before this committee. The consultations were that to determine if the president would have to testify before this committee in person, or he can write a written submission. That determination is yet to be made after those consultations. One other witness that is also expected to come before this committee, we now know that Brown Mokgotsi has actually confirmed that he's going to come in person before the Ad Hoc Committee. So there's still a long list of witnesses that are supposed to appear before this committee. Hence, then, the Ad Hoc Committee is now seeking an extension until the 31st of March, which the National Assembly will sit virtually from 10 o'clock today to actually dissect and discuss that request of the Ad Hoc Committee and actually come to an outcome if that request will be approved by the National Assembly. So it's not going to be a long sitting, because we understand that the very same MPs that are going to be discussing this matter still have to attend the SONA debate where the president delivered his SONA last week. So from 2 o'clock today, these members are also expected to attend the debate here in Parliament. Ayanda?
Absolutely, and lest we forget, Mkhokheli, that Mkhokheli himself is also expected before that committee to answer to some questions that have arisen over the past couple of months. It'll be interesting to also listen now to whether or not MPs will say anything about how long it will take, presumably, to, in fact, compile their report.
Quite honestly, Ayanda, Mkhokheli, the provincial police commissioner of the KZN province, is going to be a crucial witness that has to come back before this committee. The plans are that he must be the last witness to appear before the committee when the committee is nearing its end, to corroborate each and every allegation that came before it. You will remember that the reason why we have these kinds of investigation, the Madlanga Commission and also the Ad Hoc Committee, it's because of Mkhokheli. Then therefore the committee said Mkhokheli must appear as a last witness when they are nearing its end, and also they still have to draft a draft report, and then after drafting that report, and then they will have to write a final report that they will submit to the National Assembly when they are done with their investigations as the Ad Hoc Committee. I think, Ayanda, it's also worth mentioning that if the Speaker is going to, or actually after the debate, then the Speaker will have to make an approval or reject this extension. But some members of this committee are saying that they can't be leaving every allegation that has been made before it hanging. They need to conclude and make sure that each and every crucial witness appears before this committee, because they are saying that if they are going to work according to the 20th of February deadline, then that means that they won't be able to actually conclude and do justice to the work that they have already done. We've heard that one of the committee members, Julius Malema, saying that critics that say this committee is now engaged in a process that is open-ended, he's saying that they are not going to listen to those people, saying that the term of members of parliament in this administration is 5 years, so they cannot really listen to those that say they're engaged in an open-ended question, saying each and every important and crucial witness must appear before this committee so that they can be able to consolidate a solid report and submit it to the National Assembly.